guys. Hey everyone. Hey. Okay. I got something really special to show you, okay? I'm like in tears. Um, Here we are in the Armenian Apocrypha relating to the patriarchs and prophets. Everything will be in the description box below. If you guys recall, in the past we've covered on this channel a book called The Lives of the Prophets. If I can only find it. Here we go. The Lives of the Prophets, which to our understanding it was originally written in Greek, has amazing prophecies embedded in them, including a confirmation on Ron. It really confirms Ron Wyatt's discovery of the Ark of the Covenant. I wrote about that on the website. I'm getting to it right now. Here we go. Thanks to the Lives of the Prophets, it literally confirms Ron Wyatt's discovery of the Ark of the Covenant. Okay, for those guys, this is on the website. This is a real picture of the Ark of the Covenant. I found this. That's the Ark of the Covenant, guys. That's the real deal. We should. I don't know. I posted that. Nobody. Nobody bats an eye. I mean, we should be weeping. That's the real Ark of the Covenant. Okay, I'll leave all this stuff description box below. The real table of showbread right here. But anyway, the book, The Lives of the Prophets, there are prophecies embedded in there. And one of the prophecies on Jeremiah absolutely confirms Ron Wyatt's claim of discovering the Ark of the Covenant. So we should be studying this book, The Lives of the Prophets, and weeding out the prophecies in there. You know, I started doing that in the channel. So anyway, the point of this video, guys, is in this rare Armenian text, which I spent $10 on this PDF to buy. Wait, I don't know if this is the same book. No, this is not the same book. Never mind. Look, there's apparently an Armenian version of the Lives of the Prophets, and I just started reading it. And but the thing I want to share with you guys, there are 3 extra portions in this version. One on Moses, one on the 3 children. If you're familiar with our standard mainstream Apocrypha, one of the additions to the book of Daniel on the 3 children, there is a little excerpt on there. And the third is just an excerpt on the death of Zechariah. So here we are, an excerpt on Moses. And when we read this, this is not a story about Moses. This is a prophecy on the second coming of Moses. This is a priceless gem hidden. I don't know if anybody knows about this text. They don't know what it's about. So this is a truly rare gem that's going to be shared. Okay, so let's check it out. I'm not saying I understand all this, but and we should be expecting this stuff to be coming soon. So this needs to be preserved and studied. So the angel of the Lord came to Moses and said, I know that you have earned many earthly things. Now the time has come upon you to return to the earth where you were taken. The prophet answered, weeping and saying, Oh, ask this body if it abandons this soul. The angel reprimanded him and said, You will not abandon the Lord's counsel. Okay. When he says, oh, what we just read, we could actually find in Zechariah. Zechariah 3, the Messianic covenant. It's like the angel has to rebuke Joshua and say, no, listen, like, gird yourself up. You're going to be doing this. So it's like we see the same thing. It's very interesting. And the prophet said, I guess the prophet would be Moses, said, My mouth spoke with God, and my eyes saw the light of the Godhead, and my nostrils smelt the fragrance of sweetness and my ears heard the word of the Redeemer and the voice of the Holy Spirit. And how do you take my soul? Okay, so we could see that verse 1 here is just a historical account of Moses, and then it starts morphing into prophecy. That becomes very blatant here in verse 4, what we just read. The prophet said, my mouth spoke with God, and my eyes saw the light of the Godhead. What are we talking about? This is messianic prophecy, the death of the suffering servant. When he falls, he will rise. I don't know if many people understand this, but we read in the Psalms, it's like Isaiah 22, the Lord, he's fastened as a nail in a sure place. In Isaiah 22, the Lord's going to take out that nail. And, he always uses us as bait. And the enemy is just going to be like, we got him. And they'll murder him, and he'll rise. And so we read this all over our Bibles. In the Psalms, it's like, while his hedges are all taken about, what the serpent does, if you understand the tactics of the serpent, they don't just kill you, they just destroy everything around you and watch you destroy yourself. And they just feed and siphon off the trauma and the anger and the anxiety. That's what Satan does. So, one of the main things the serpent does, broad stroke, they love to make you homeless. That's the main thing, and just feed off you destroying yourself until you eventually die. If you're a TI, that's their goal, is to make you homeless. So we read about this in like the Psalms, like the Messianic prophecies. It even says, I said in my haste, all men are liars. He's just like, his heart is hardened, and he's just like going off. And I think he uses a lot of foul language. And we see this in the lost Psalms of David, that, they get him that bad. And he uses a lot of foul language. And the Lord answers him. And we see that in, like, I think, what is it, Isaiah 5? Oh, I've come undone. I've seen the Lord. I'm a man of unclean lips. I come from people who are from unclean lips. Okay? The lost Psalms of David make us connect all these dots. But that's what these prophecies are about. So, when we understand that, let's read again verse 4. My mouth spoke with God, and my eyes saw the light of the Godhead, and my nostrils smelt the fragrance of sweetness. Right, this is like Isaiah 5, that prophecy in Isaiah, I'm undone, I saw the Lord. That's when he rose. And my ears heard the word of the Redeemer and the voice of the Holy Spirit. And how do you take my soul? That's what we're reading about. And the angel said to him, come to Mount Nebo. And he went with him, and he said, open your mouth. And with the opening, that is his mouth, he gave up his ghost. So, if this is messianic prophecy, he opened his mouth and he gave up his ghost. What is that? That's the midnight cry. Alright, and then there'll be an earthquake. Right? It's the same thing as Yeshua on the cross when he said, my God, why have you forsaken me? This is a controversial thing, but I am going to teach it because I believe it's true. We all know by reading the Gospels, why would Jesus say, my God, why have you forsaken me? He knew his purpose. The Gospel of Peter, for this reason, this Gospel was called heretical, because it really is, my God, what they claim is what Jesus really meant, what the text really mean to say, what got lost in the Greek, is that my God, why have you taken away my power? And that is biblical. But for that reason, the Gospel of Peter is considered heretical, but I believe it's absolutely true, because we can confirm it in the Old Testament, in Messianic prophecy. Isaiah 22, he takes away all the hedges. The lost Psalms of David, he's just melting, like, So we're reading the same thing here. And he said, oh, for the heavenly things are sweeter than honeycomb. And that must be his salvation. That must be his resurrection. This is just a priceless gem that I don't think anybody knows about. So I just want to share it with you guys. Okay, guys. I'll leave everything in the description box below. But this is an extension from the lives of the prophets. That's not in the standard Greek. And this is a real prophecy. whoever wrote this was hearing from God. Amazing. All right, God bless you. Thank you.